Hello everyone. It's James again. And today I wanted to talk about some very important topics. Topics that relate to the Charlie Kirk assassination. And to the young woman from Ukraine named Irina Zaruska. You see, those that practice evil work hard and go out of their way to convince you that evil is just part of your imagination. That Satan isn't real. That demons aren't real. That hell isn't real. And that witchcraft isn't real. This is just like how the narcissist works hard to convince you or someone else that all of the fears you have of moving in with them, or moving to another part of the country with them, or getting a bank account together, or buying a piece of property with them. All of these fears are imagined and so-called in your head. And the reason why they do this is to get you to drop your guard, so they can inflict maximum damage on you and your life. Do you realize there were some witches bragging about casting spells on Donald Trump during his campaign to become President of the United States? They went online and openly bragged about it. And now you have a popular feminist website that put out a message saying they hired witches to put a curse on Charlie Kirk. But now they are saying it was all satire and part of a joke. Look. And I've said this before. And I will talk about it again and again and again. These feminist organizations are about divide and ruining the family unit. And in order to get their way they sickly resort to evil violence. Because what happened to Charlie Kirk? The evildoers tried to do to this wonderful woman named Erin Pizzi. And I will leave you a link in the box below of her to check out. And you be the judge. Erin was the first ever to open up a battered woman's shelter. But when she realized the movement she was involved in was full of lies, fueled by a Marxist communist ideology, with the goal of destroying the family unit, and brainwashing as many people as it could, she set out to speak the truth. One of those truths is that men and women are no better or worse than one another. Both are capable of good and both are capable of evil. But, she realized how dangerous some women could be because of the lies that were being pushed in society to cover up such dangerous and evil behavior. Meaning, if a woman deleted a man, she must have had a reason. Or if a woman deleted her children, well, it's her right, or maybe she needs therapy. Never would it be admitted that women could ever be in the wrong for anything. And they created a narrative that women were the victims for everything, which led to the psychopaths that were women to take their masks off and do whatever it was they wanted to do with zero consequence. Now this doesn't take away from the evil men were and are doing. But the feminist agenda was to hide away the fact that women were capable of such evil actions too. And the reason why they did so was so they could do all the evil they could do, helping destroy society and point the finger at everyone else while it happened. Well, Erin's life was threatened for speaking the truth. Her life was in danger every time she spoke. Every time she walked out of her front door. Because it was that important to these sick and insane people, that they were able to get their evil agenda pushed. Sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? Charlie Kirk going to universities talking and debating with people, hoping someone there would see and understand the truth. Maybe, just maybe, one of these people would turn to Jesus Christ. Maybe they would see the value of family and genuine relationships. But remember, in a communist Marxist society you can't have that. And as a great many of you remember, me sharing my thoughts and speaking up and comparing the brainwashing techniques of communist to the narcissist. That is the very thing that got my channel shadow banned. Myself and a few others were starting to get big number views. Big number views for back then anyways. And it looked like we might be able to do this full time. But then in an instant, it got all snatched away. Why do you think that happened? Because if communism and Marxism is so great and straightforward, people should be able to speak and make up their mind if they like it or not. But the truth is, how it comes about in most if not all of the instances that it has come about, is through fear. Through violence. and through manipulation and brainwashing. And during Aaron's time, the powers that be wanted to make sure the children growing up would be lacking from a normal family unit and from a Christian upbringing. Aaron realized there were problems with both men and women that usually stemmed from growing up in an abusive household. And Aaron set out to break that cycle and teach both men and women how to have healthy and happy relationships together. And that alone was enough for the demons around her to want to end her life. Look, this is a spiritual battle, full of curses and prayers. And by the way, when these witches are casting their spells, what they are doing is talking to demons, and having them carry their wishes off into the spirit world. And what do you think happens with these curses or wishes coming from these witches? Well, these demons stick these wishes and curses into the minds of the sick and twisted, weak-minded, and in the minds of those that can no longer hear God's voice, with the hopes they will carry out the evil they wished for upon the innocent. Irina fled Ukraine to get away from a literal war. She was working a normal job at a pizza shop. And likely her thinking was she's in America, that she could relax. So she got off work still with her work uniform on. Most people in the United States can't wait to take off such a uniform. But she seemed to wear it with pride, which speaks a lot about her hard work and character. And she put in her earbuds and was likely listening to something or watching something on her phone. And remember when I first spoke about this horrible incident, I said this guy on the left looked like he was talking to himself or talking to a demon, before he took out his knife. Well, it turns out he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. And most people that have such problems talk about talking with literal demons on a regular basis. You can't make this stuff up. You just can't. Now, did someone place a curse on Irina? Probably not. But the demons know who everyone is, and knew she was someone innocent and decent. And those are the ones that demons love to attack. And because in a great many cases they can't get to them directly, they find a demon on earth to do their dirty work for them. Oh, and the demon on earth next to this guy is his brother that also deleted someone and is serving 30 years. They do have a half-brother that said this side of his family has basically always been like this, and that they deserve to be in prison for what they have done. But what is the answer to all of this? And I'm sure Charlie Kirk would say, the answer is Jesus Christ and us having a relationship with Him. And prayer. Look. The very people that are trying to convince you of the many evil things they are pushing in society. Most of these people pushing this stuff are atheists. Most of them are communist. And they will say and do whatever they have to say and do to push who and what they are onto you. Even calling you things that you are not. Now they are calling Charlie Kirk a misogynist. Please believe anyone that speaks up against the feminist agenda will be called a misogynist. Narcissists love to call you names that don't apply to you. Also, you go into proving you are not those things. And it distracts away from the real problem. And so nothing gets solved and they are able to push their agenda through. Demons can tick off in the minds of the spiritually weak. And those that have opened doorways through evil happenings in a family. Playing with witchcraft and all of that kind of stuff. And using substances you shouldn't be using. And also trauma. They want you to lose that cord or connection you have to God. So these demons can influence and get you or whoever to ruin someone's life, while at the same time ruining yours. The only answer to this entire problem is Jesus Christ. It's that simple. It's that simple. Well, that's all I have for today. I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time. Bye for now. And be good to yourself.